The forensics proved to me that this is not a suicide. I can't say it enough. What a miscarriage of justice this is. Her parents, Sandy and Josh, whom I consider to be friends at this point, have spent the last 14 years plus their life savings. They just sold their home to prove their daughter did not commit suicide. But forensics aside, which I'm going to go right back into, let me go to Sandy Greenberg. This is Ellen's mother. Sandy, thank you for being with us on this very important
You.
day in our lives, where the book that we have worked so hard on to force the district attorney to investigate this case, as they should have at the time she was murdered. Could you explain to everyone why this was such a critical time in Ellen's life? A happy time, a wonderful time that, in my mind, precludes any possibility of suicide. What was happening in her life that was so joyous?
We had just sent out the save the date cards for the wedding. Everything was in place in terms of deposits for the location, the music, the venue, hotels. So it seemed to me like, everything was organized, and she loved her job as a teacher, but she seemed to feel she was overwhelmed at times. And I couldn't understand how you could be overwhelmed from first graders, but that's what she expressed. And
Well, another issue, Sandy. Sandy, I've never asked you after all this time, what were the details of the wedding? Where was the wedding to be held? What venue? What music? I can't believe I've never asked you that question.
um, it was going to be at the Hershey Hotel, which is a lovely setting and located not too far from where we were living in Pennsylvania. And we picked out beautiful flowers. We were splitting the band with Sam's parents because they really, really liked this band, and we figured, okay. Um, we had a wonderful wedding planner as part of the hotel who we became friends with because she was just so talented and capable. And we had gotten her a dress. That was all taken
Oh, I
care
love the
of.
dress. Sandy, the dress is beautiful.
You missed the best
I
part of the
love
dress
her
was
wedding
the back
dress.
of it. It had a big, beautiful rose um, material in the back. It was stunning. But thank you. I love the dress too. And I'm
Where
grateful
did you guys
that
find the dress, Sandy?
in Suburban Square in Philadelphia, Priscilla something, a
It's
bridal shop.
beautiful. And to Karen Stark joining me, renowned forensic psychologist, TV, radio, trauma expert, consultant. You can find her at karenstark.com, Karen with a C. Karen, with that backdrop, was just sending out the save the dates. She was very clear to everyone that she loved the fiance, Sam Goldberg, that he was Mr. Right. They had dated a good chunk of time. That backdrop, to me, makes it an even more stark event. Of course, you and I have lived through a lot of murders. I've prosecuted a lot of murders. You've helped me analyze a lot of murders. But very rarely with such a joyous, seemingly joyous backdrop as this, which makes the dichotomy, in my mind, even more sharp.
In a lot of ways, Nancy, this is so inconsistent with what you would actually think of in terms of suicide, because you would have signs that somebody was actually having suicidal ideations. That wasn't happening with Ellen at all. And you just heard her mother her mother, who lost her one and only child, talk about the fact that she was not stressed except for things from her classroom, which really, working with first graders, I can understand.